Hey, are you considering moving to Durham, North Carolina, but you are not really sure yet? You're like, well, I have read quite some not as interesting things and I need a little bit of clarification. This is what this video is about. I want to give you some pros and cons of living in Durham. We've received a lot of calls about this and I just literally sat down at my computer. I wrote something, I have my notes here, so I want to share them with you. So stay with me. And welcome back. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about moving to Durham, North Carolina, or maybe you want to come to the Raleigh area, well, generally you want to come to the RTP and you're just not sure yet, please subscribe and click the bell button for notifications so you can be the first one to learn everything there is to know. We post 3 videos every single week, so a lot of great information. And by the way, my name is Joanna Nin. I am a team leader and a broker in charge of the Prosperous Agency, and me and my team have been helping a lot of people relocate, move and live in Raleigh, North Carolina for many years now, and we absolutely love hearing from all of you guys. We get a lot of text messages, a lot of calls, a lot of emails every single week, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're considering moving to Raleigh or Durham or Cary or any of the suburbs in 9 days or in 90 days, I'd love to help you with the process and promise to make this process as smooth and happy as possible. So without further ado, let's dive into my notes, and I have them printed out here. I don't want to miss anything. So as you know, I have to say this before I start, none of my videos are scripted. I am only reading at whatever I write myself, and I do a lot of market research. As I said, I've been selling real estate since 2011 and we've helped hundreds and hundreds of families with moving to the Raleigh area. So these are general perspectives, both from me as a human person that has relocated herself with her family from Los Angeles and from Europe, of course, at some point in 2005, and also from a real estate broker perspective. So the first pro of my of all of them, I have about 4 or 5 or so total, not a lot information, but the first pro would be the cost of living. When choosing a new place to live, you want to make sure that the cost of living overall is something that is comfortable for you and your family, right? So some areas are bigger than others. Some states are just very expensive when it comes to real estate, when it comes to utilities, to the bills, to everything. And I have to say that when you come here, you are going to see some differences, but overall, the cost of living in Durham, North Carolina is extremely affordable. Grocery items, utilities, healthcare, general services are less expensive than in other states. Now, one thing to consider though when it comes to overall affordability and the fact that Durham is lower than the national average, you do have to look at the fact that, for example, if you're from California, we don't have avocados growing here. So an avocado could be $1 a piece or even over $1 a piece, right? Gas, though, is cheaper. The utilities are going to be maybe equal. We do have sort of a winter here, which is, you know, a couple of months a year. Sometimes we do have freezing temperatures, so you're gonna have to heat your house and you're gonna have to cool your home in the summer when it can be very hot, and also the temperatures could be from left to right. I know this is supposed to be a pro, but I'm giving you the pro in a general context of what you're going to see here. But overall, looking at the big picture, it is very affordable, and yes, you can live better than in other states, 100%. Okay, number 2, speaking about affordability, is affordable real estate. So this is what I've pulled here, very interesting information. So the average sales price of a home in Durham last month, so in November of 2022, was $399,000, and it was up 7.6% since last year. And also The average sales price per square foot in Durham is about $225, which is up 8.7% since last year. You need to know the stats. You need to calculate, can you rent? Absolutely. Can you get a rent for $1,500, $1,700? Yes, but what type of homes are you going to get in that price point? It's debatable depending on your level of comfort, whether or not you want to be in downtown, you want to be a little bit in the outskirts. If you are a university professor or a doctor, or if you're a student, of course, those are completely different situations and life chapters. So you can find everything in Durham that is also like super expensive from a rent perspective, but you can find something that's super affordable and you are going to be close to university as well. All right, so let me give you something, and I printed this out. Very interesting to see the top 10 inbound metros. So who's actually moving from where to Durham, North Carolina? We have one, Fayetteville, North Carolina. We have Washington, D.C., we have San Francisco, California, New York, LA, Boston, Chicago, Seattle, Austin, and San Diego. There's a lot of California on this list, so you can see who's coming to Durham, which is very, very interesting from an inbound perspective, just so you have an understanding of how some people might look at affordability, right? While you can find a house at $400,000, $450,000, $500,000 in Durham, for someone coming from California, that's like, whoa, what? And is this gonna be an okay house or a townhome with a garage, a 3-bedroom? Maybe I'm gonna have an office, maybe I'm gonna have, a yard. It's a huge change for some people, so it's still very, very affordable when you look at the overall price points in some of the bigger states and cities. All right, excellent educational opportunities. I mean, come on, guys. We have Duke University, we have Durham Technical Community College, and also we have a lot of independently run public schools and charter schools. I have just a couple of examples here for all of you parents. So when you look at Voyager Academy, it's a charter school. It ranks 8 out of 10. You look at Pearsontown Elementary, which is a public school that ranks 8 out of 10. I have to say, overall, the education is great. Wake County is very popular when it comes to public schools, so it might not be that Durham is going to be your first pick, but there's a lot of students there, which, of course, Duke University, Durham Technical Community College is attracting. So I think it's a combination of both worlds when it comes to education, and also, as I said, charter schools, Montessori schools, private schools, magnet schools. There's plenty of options for all of you guys to choose from if you want to be in Durham, North Carolina. Number 3 on my list is great healthcare. It is important. We used to live in California, and I have to say healthcare here for me is here compared to the healthcare that I was receiving in California. We had a lot of great hospitals there, but I felt that it was overpopulated. The care itself was not there, including for myself as a mother delivering children, just as an FYI, going on the personal note. So you do have, of course, Duke University Hospital, Lenox, Baker Children's Hospital, which is an amazing hospital, plenty of other hospitals and choices that have great reviews, so you're not going to be disappointed when it comes to healthcare in Raleigh. Number 5 on my list, would be job opportunities. So I wrote down from physicians, biopharmaceutical, medical, tech, just to mention a few. 5 top paying jobs in Durham, for example. I have them right here. General internal medicine physicians, general dentists, psychiatrists, financial managers, natural sciences managers. So these are the top 5 paying jobs in Durham at the moment. So great job opportunities. Number 6, lot of things to do. I mean, from the nature itself, parks, trails, green spaces, greenways. Durham has, of course, the Duke gardens, the chapel, which is beautiful. You can go and enjoy a beautiful Christmas concert right now. Also the American Tobacco Trail. You have the Museum of Life and Science. You can go to the mall if you want to go to the mall, right? You can go to the Lemur Center. Also, so by the way, South Point Mall, ladies, is absolutely fantastic. Also, if you are into baseball, of course, Durham Bulls. You can go to DPAC as well, the Performing Arts Center. So plenty of things to do in Durham, and if you don't want to be in Durham, you are close enough to Raleigh, so just hop in your car and go to Raleigh, go to Chapel Hill, whatever your heart desires. Plenty of options there. All right, and I think so these are my 6 top things to do here, and we have reached the crime rate, which is our first cons, right? So you have probably heard in the news there was a big shooting, and that was in Raleigh, in Raleigh, by the way, in October. There are some things happening right now in the Raleigh area generally and in Durham. So safety is definitely a concern for our family, for our clients' families, and for everyone out there. You want to know if you can leave your car door open. You want to know if you're safe in your own house. You want to know that your children are safe in Durham public school. So crime rates are higher in Durham because of its size, but it doesn't really mean that it's not safe. I did add this as a cons because, again, we're getting a lot of calls and a lot of inquiries about this. However, I can say that I never feel unsafe when I go to Durham. And actually, Durham is doing a little bit better than Raleigh nowadays on a big scale of like what's happening in North Carolina and general nationwide. So it really does depend on where you live in Durham, and many areas are safe. However, I have the total crime rate here. I have the stats. It's 48 per 1,000 people. That's the crime rate, which is higher than the national average. Also, I have the violent crime rate, which is 7 per 1,000 people, which is lower than the national average. And I also have the property crime rate, which is 40 per 1,000, which is lower than the national average. Now, mind the fact that, and it's a very interesting fact, when you speak about crime rate and you speak of other states and other areas that are or are not giving their numbers to the FBI or to all of these agencies that are putting all these numbers together, this needs to be somewhere at the top of your mind. And I'm just saying this on a general level, right? So I'm not saying that these numbers are not legit, but then I'm also saying that some other states might not report the proper numbers or might not report at all. Also, what we've noticed recently is that a lot of the headlines make things way bigger than they actually are, and then how people that live in that specific area actually feel, right? So keep that in mind. Again, Durham is this big, LA is this big, San Francisco, Miami. So when you compare an apple to, or a nut with an apple, it's going to be a little bit different when it comes to the stats, right? So you have to compare apples to apples generally. However, my job is to tell you what we're seeing here. So despite all of these numbers, Durham remains a thriving community with a lot to offer to its residents. Definitely, you can find detailed crime statistics for Durham. We're going to put them right there below for you to look for yourself. All right. The other item that I wanted to touch on the cons is the bugs. Now, you know, the bugs, I've touched on the bugs before and on the snakes, and that is just general for North Carolina. I'm just gonna leave it there. Yes, we do have some cockroaches. Yes, we do have some mosquitoes, but which state doesn't have something? So I'm not really aware of other areas in the world that are perfect. So yes, if you're very afraid of snakes, you are going to find some snakes, some copperheads and other types of snakes in North Carolina and in Durham. They're not going to go kind of like that and say, no, I'm not going to go to Durham right now. I'm just going to stay in Raleigh. So you know what? if you think that that is a con, and if you think that you don't want to buy a house here in the Raleigh area or in the Durham area, or you are considering it but you don't know how to go around this, just buy something that doesn't have a lot of trees or a lot of stones. And by the way, this is where, you know, snakes go, usually kind of like they're wanting to hide, they don't want to attack. And I do have another video that you can see on my channel with the snake catcher of North Carolina, which she's super popular, and she can explain exactly the type of snakes. And also I can, you know, interview other people on the bugs, types of bugs and mosquitoes and stuff like that we have here. So, you know, I'm adding the bugs with the snakes, with all of the, I guess, things that people are complaining about. So that would be another point on, so the second con. The third con, which again, you can't really do anything about, but it is a problem, is the pollen. And so pollen has been affecting our family, especially my daughter, and it's not something that you can change. If you do have allergies, and if you are highly allergic to pollen and to some of the trees that we have here and grasses that we have here in North Carolina, please consider twice whether or not you want to come here and be on allergy medicine. Durham, Raleigh, Cary, Holly Springs, all of them turn green, yellow, green, whatever the color is in the spring because of the pollen. Your car is going to be beautiful in the morning, and then by the time you leave work, you are going to see pollen. So definitely something to consider. All right, the fourth one on my list, which is, you know, it's such a debatable one again, is the nightlife. It's like, you know, a lot of people say, well, we're in Durham, we're students, there's really not a lot to do. There's more to do maybe for families than for, you know, a single person or someone that doesn't just want to stay home and watch a movie, but actual life, going out and doing a bunch of stuff. I have to say that while Durham, it could even be that Durham has a lot more going on than some of the other areas around, it's small. So people are worried if it's boring, if it's just there's nothing happening. Now, it could be boring depending on the level of activity that you're searching for, right? So if you want to party every single night like you're partying in Manhattan or in West Hollywood, it's just not gonna happen. There is variety when it comes to nightlife. There are several clubs. You can go and dance and have a lot of fun, but it's just as big as it can be. So no, you're not going to find the most amazing Miami style nightlife in Durham, and I'm very sorry to say it out loud, but if that is something that is such a big thing for you, then just don't move to Durham, right? There's plenty of families that are enjoying and people that are enjoying living here with the amount of things that we have here. So, you know, move to LA, move to San Francisco, move to Texas, move to, I don't know, bigger areas. All right, and the last one as the cons would be the traffic. So the traffic has gotten a little bit more intense compared to other times, even 5-6 years ago. So we can definitely see some traffic happening in Durham, especially in the morning, because again, you do have students, you do have doctors going to the hospitals, you do have people going to Durham. There's a lot of companies, like I've mentioned, a lot of people, a lot of professionals driving. So yes, the traffic has gotten more intense. Going to Durham, coming from Durham, rush hour is not as breezy as it used to be. And I am going to include with the traffic the fact that the public transportation for the whole area, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, is not always the best. Can you get on a bus? Absolutely. Do we have some, fairly okay train system? Yes, but it's not like, you don't hop on a trolley, on a tram. It's just not quite as easily handleable, is that a word? Easily to handle as in other big metropolitan areas. Wow, English is definitely my friend today. So think about that, and if you don't drive You can stay in Durham and again hop on a bus, and you can actually bike, which was one of my cons. There's so much happening outside nature-wise, so you can actually take the bike easy, you can take the scooter easy. It's not a problem. It's gonna take you everywhere you want to go, so you can actually do that because it's not so big. But when it comes to not driving and not actually having a car and traffic, well, that can be, again, how easily is it, how easily can you actually get around Durham if you have a car in mass traffic morning or evening, or if you don't have a car, how is that public transportation? So I kind of just combined both of them, and that is going to be my last one on the list when it comes to pros and cons of living in Durham, North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope it wasn't too long. And again, whether you're looking to come here in 9 days or in 90 days, we'd love to help your move to Raleigh and to the Durham area. We would love to have that move, yes, and make it as smooth and happy as possible. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and till the next video. Bye.